I never got it, why'd you have to go? I guess this world's too slow for you. I think there's beauty in the gray, the cold, but you just want the gold. And there's no way I can beat it, cause I got no chance when it comes to her. She got the glitter and the fame, and I just wasn't enough for you.
Okay, it is Friday, people. It's Friday and it's time for another live stream. Today is the Doll Symposium, episode 57. Let's switch over to the main camera. Hello, everybody. Happy Friday, everybody. Hopefully you guys had a good week. Me, I had a stressful one. Work was just really crazy this week. But hopefully everybody else that is watching, hopefully you guys had a good week. Hopefully have a good weekend coming up. Anybody have any good plans coming up for this weekend? I know the holidays are coming up soon, so everybody's preparing for the holidays. That's always a given. PMB Sakura, welcome to the stream. Hello, happy Friday. So, as always, guys, I am your host today. I am Shizusan, and my beautiful assistant with me today is the wonderful Y'shtola. So, we are episode 57, like I said before. Today's stream, I guess, is going to be relatively short because there isn't really much going on this past 2 weeks. Probably have just more to talk about with Smart Doll stuff than anything this week. But that being said, let's kick off today's session like we always do with some Dolphy Dream news. So let me affix my screen here so I could properly display everything. Okay. We have right here. So, coming up for Volks News this week, it is a reminder that Volks has its Let's Christmas Party event going on. Remember that you can do the Christmas Party event both on the international website and on the Volks USA website. But I have the international website pulled up right now, and it looks like everything is still in stock except for the regular sized ugly sweater. Apparently that one sold out relatively quickly. Christina Kowald, welcome to the stream today, and Mika7, welcome to the stream. So yeah, like a lot of these items are still available except for the normal sized ugly sweater from Volks International. And remember, you can also get these items on Volks USA website. Moving on. Next up is another reminder. Just remember, these new wigs are coming out soon. It's going to be in January. These are the ombre wigs from Volks International. This is a Volks International exclusive. And remember, you have to be a GLVS or VIP member in order to do so. If you're not a member already, might as well just put your bid in. It's only 800 yen. That's like, what, $6 US or something like that. It's not that expensive. It lasts you the whole year. And if you are going to be participating in any pre-orders or lotteries or any other kind of events online, you do have to be a member anyways. But these are the two different wig styles. It's the ombre going from blonde to purple. They say it's blue, but I swear to God, it looks like purple to me. And then the other one is blonde going into pink curls. So this is all stuff that we've talked about before, but again, I told you it's a really short week for news, so a lot of this stuff is just reminders, letting you guys know don't forget or don't sleep on these items that are still going to be available or coming up in the future. Now, the other reminder here is not loading. Okay, here we go. Doll Party 50. So it is now time, people, for Doll Party 50 or Dolpa 50. That's going to be taking place in the Tokyo Big Sight or in Tokyo at Tokyo Big Sight, whichever way you want to phrase the sentence. I didn't even notice your stole is like kind of half cut out. There we go. So yeah, this is going to be actually it's Saturday for them already in Japan. So tomorrow, basically, tomorrow is Sunday for Japan. Doll Party 50. Now remember, a lot of items are going to be released during Doll Party 50. If you have your proxies already on the task to get whatever it is that you need, there's a bunch of stuff coming out. I think if you contact your proxies now, it's probably too late. They're probably all booked up. But then again, you never know. Like last minute proxies still are able to get some stuff. Remember, this is when free Ren is going to be available. It's going to be a lottery at the event, so your proxies aren't guaranteed to get her even if they try. And then Frieren will also come out in January for the after event as well. Now, Hatsune Miku is a different story. Hatsune Miku is going to be a limited item for the event at Dolpa. And then she's going to be, I guess, a Click War item because they didn't actually release the announcement. But I believe she's going to be a Click War item in the after event that's going to take place in January. But if you don't like those odds, you could just go to Volks USA. just go straight to Volks USA starting tomorrow at 5 p.m. Pacific time, which is 8 p.m. for us on the East Coast of the United States. But if you go onto the Volks USA website and you click on it, it tells you 404 page not found. More than likely, they're updating it because it's going to be released tomorrow, or it's going to open up tomorrow. So I'm assuming that they're just updating the website right now. But basically, Hatsune Miku, pre-order her from December 9 to December 11. You only have 2 days, but you're guaranteed to get her as long as you pre-order her during that time period. You could take your chances at getting it with a proxy, which means you'll get it sooner from Dolpa 50. Or you could take your chances... excuse me, still suffering a little bit from the cold or whatever the hell it is that I have. Or you can wait for the after event and try your luck on the Click War. There is also another thing, and they specified this now, so we have a little bit more information for Hatsune Miku, is that in the lottery event during Dolpa 50, once she is sold out and there's no more quantities of her on the sales floor, pre-orders will open for her to be pre-ordered. Now, they did specify, so we do have more additional information. The pre-orders are only going to be during the event of Dolpa 50. So once Dolpa 50 is over, because it's only a one-day event, you can no longer pre-order her, from Volks International, or from Volks in general, because she's going to be released at the event and then pre-order at the event. They didn't mention anything in the after event website. I only am assuming that she's going to be a Click War because, again, the after event website is not fully updated. If you try to click on it, nothing happens. So maybe we'll get lucky and she'll be pre-ordered during the after event, maybe. But they did mention that the pre-orders is only going to last for the Dolpa 50 event. So I'm assuming the time frame between Dolpa 50 to the after event, you cannot pre-order her on the Volks International website. Again, this is all speculation. Half speculation, because they did announce that she's going to be pre-order only during the special event. But they didn't say if after Dolpa 50 the pre-orders will open for internationals. They did not say that. So again, we're playing this by piecemeal. But if you do not want to take your chances, just go to Volks USA. You're guaranteed to get her December 9th to December 11th. Pre-order her. Now, obviously, this is not going to work too well if you're outside of the US, because Volks USA only ships to the United States, and I believe Canada, if I'm not mistaken, is kind of a part of that they're allowing for. So if you are an international user, that's kind of not fair. I don't think it's fair that they're allowing the Americans to pre-order her, and then on the Volks International website, you can't pre-order her. So I'm assuming that for everyone else in the world, there's going to be some form of pre-order available. When they're going to let that happen, we have no idea. Maybe it's going to be during the after event. Again, the after event website is not updated, so we don't know. We're going to play this one by ear. But if you live in the United States and you don't want to take that chance, or if you live in Canada, go to Volks USA, and you're just guaranteed to get her at that point. Luxaria says, hype but no money, waiting for possible Vocaloid IA, or do you mean AI? Mycopian. Batman says, seeing as how Miku is the only DD to have had like 5 official releases, I can very well see Volks doing another order of Miku like a year from now. That's very true. It's more than likely, if you miss out on her for whatever reason this year, there pretty much is going to be another Miku NT release, more than likely during the year of 2024 at the end or at the beginning of 2025 during the Magical Mirai Festival, which is usually when they have releases of Miku again. Not guaranteed, but they usually do it, or during some kind of like random event, throughout the year, they may put her in again. So, don't feel too disheartened if you miss her the first time around. As Batman has noted in chat, there is a high likelihood she will come back. It's just if you miss out on the first batch, you're going to have to wait till the next batch, whenever that may be. Again, they still haven't updated the website either for the Dolphy Memorial 25th to see who won for the Dolphy Dream remake and then the other Dolphies basically in Collection 3 remake. They have not announced any of that stuff. I tried looking on the Dolphy 20 website, and if you just go down and you click on it, it does nothing. See here. There, where was it again? There was a link somewhere here. Here, the Dolphy. This thing, and then go down to the collabs. Here we go, best selection. See, still no winners announced. We don't know who won these things. They're gonna announce it during Dopa 50, so we'll know who wins by this weekend for sure. But it kind of sucks for us international people. We can't even tell our proxies to get ready to purchase whichever doll is going to be released at the event because they're not announcing it, which is very, very boo. Like, it's a boo, boo, boo. They're not telling us. Look at this. Look at this. Nothing. So, whatever. That's just something that they're doing. I don't know why they're doing it. It's kind of disappointing, but it is what it is, man. Can't tell them what to do, you know? It's their product. Let's see. PMB Sakura says, I hope they release her outfit. I already have a green-haired Miku, LOL, or I will try to pick up the outfit secondhand. More than likely, Sakura, you're going to have to get it secondhand. I don't see them selling her default outfit separate. I don't think they have ever sold the default outfit separate, for the original one at least. I mean, I could be wrong, but I don't think they have. So more than likely, it'll probably be someone piecing it out, and you'll just have to get it secondhand. I would definitely check Mandarake, as a lot of people seem to like either get the doll because they just need a new doll, don't like the outfit, and then they sell the outfit, things like that. So you're more than likely to get an outfit by itself that way. Crip says IA is a Vocaloid character, to short for Aria. Oh. I did not know that. I thought they released all the Vocaloid characters. Batman Jackson, weigh in on this, because I know you know more about this than I do. I thought they released like all the Vocaloids. Like now with the last of it with being Mako and Luca, and you know we had Kaito. They round out the main cast, don't they? But again, I'm not a Vocaloid expert, so I could definitely be wrong for sure. And Batman confirms, nope, they never have. No? You mean there's more of them? They have not. Oh my god. I can't believe there's more of them. Okay, well, the other ones are not as popular, I guess, right? Or am I wrong on that too? Because I know the main ones, because those are the ones that everyone spams pictures of and things like that, and videos come out, but I don't really know the other ones, to be honest. Luxaria says, I've seen people selling the outfits separate, but they range from 30,000 to 60,000 yen. Yeah, it's kind of pricey, but I don't know about 60,000 yen, but I definitely seen it for 30,000 yen for sure. Maybe 60,000 yen. That would be that Sakura schoolgirl outfit. Everybody seemed to really like that one for some reason. There are so many Vocaloid. Korean, Chinese, etc. Okay, but what about just the... Okay, again, my ignorance, because I'm not a huge Vocaloid fan. But isn't Hatsune Miku and her gang, like, they're Japanese, right? Or like they're made by Japanese creators. So I thought they were like what you would call like the main cast of characters, and then the Korean and Chinese are like their cousins or something like that. I don't know. I'm just guessing. I really don't know. I know very little about Vocaloids. Batman Jackson is my go-to to find out information for Vocaloids, because they are just not like, I just don't know all about them. Batman says Teto or Tito was just made official, so I could see her being a DD, but not before Megumi or Gakupo. The amount of Vocaloids that exist is insane. The main is Hatsune Miku and gang. Okay, that's what I thought. I thought Hatsune Miku and her gang is like, they're like the main stage kind of guys. And then there's like A stage, B stage kind of thing. They have English Vocaloids? Okay, I've never seen that. That one I have never seen. All right, moving on. Again, like I said, if you want Miku NT and you live in the US or Canada, you can definitely pre-order her and guarantee that you'll get a copy. If you have a friend that lives in the US that you can ask to get one for you or pre-order for you because you don't want to take the risk of international website, try and do that now so you can like get with your friends. But December 9th to December 11th, that's this weekend, people, coming up. Now, moving on. We are going to Azone International News. There really isn't much on Azone right now, but this, which are Pure Nemo dolls. Now, obviously, Pure Nemo, well, I shouldn't say obviously, but normally Pure Nemos come in pairs. There's usually a regular version and then a store direct version. This one is actually a doll show original. Well, a doll show version only. That's what I should say. This is Karafuru Dreaming Sakura Sakashita. Sorry. Sakura Sakashita, Happy New Year 2024. She is a Doll Shown Azone exclusive. Now, this is exclusive particularly to, what was the name of the show again? It's Winter something. Doll Show 71 Winter. So during that doll show, which is going to be on January 8th. Is it? Yeah, January 8th is when the doll show is going to be, and she's going to be available at the Azone booth somewhere in the Doll Show 71. Now, this version of her is specific to that doll show. I'm sure she'll come up on Mandarake or something, but it's only in the doll show for this version of Sakura Sakashita. Then, I guess the normal version, or the Azone Store Direct version, is this one, which is Karafuru Dreamin' Sakura Sakashita Happy New Year 2024 Azone Store Direct version. I swear Azone has a mouthful when they like label their dolls. How much do their Pure Nemo pose? I've seen them, but I've never handled them. They're so cute. I don't know for the new ones. So I've owned Pure Nemos before. I've had about like 3 of them, but I've had the older ones where the older ones they don't have like a real ball joint. They have like these weird flex joints, which is cut like diagonally, like take the knee joint, right? And instead of a ball joint there, it's like a diagonal cut. So it can only move in that one diagonal range. The ball joints were in like the hips and the shoulder areas, but then the elbows also had that weird like half cut. Now, the new ones have ball joints, so I'm assuming they pose as much as any other ball jointed doll. That's my assumption. I don't own any of the newer ones, but I assume that they pose much better than the older ones that were released back when I was collecting them. But yeah, this one is an Azone Store Direct version. Reservations do open for this girl. It was December 21st. So December 21st, you can pre-order her. She might be available on your local places like Ami or HLJ or Hobby Link 1999. But definitely you can get her on azone.net or in the stores, the Azone label shops in Japan, starting on December 21st. Now, that is the reservation period, and it doesn't say here. Let me see. Just want to make sure. Yeah, it doesn't say anything about it shutting down early. So you should be able to pre-order them. I don't think there's a hard cap on how many of these that are going to be made. She does come on the Pure Nemo 2 Feel S body. Now, this is the silky skin white version. So both of them are silky skin white version. It's just the difference really between the two girls is the color of the kimono, like the flowers are different colors, and the hair is different colors. But they're pretty much the same girl. Same rules apply. Hair, eye color is different. It's pretty much the same girl. They just changed like little things in here and there just to make it a store direct or a event exclusive version. She is going to be 20,900 yen, which is just shy of, I think, 165 US dollars right now. Again, that could fluctuate depending on the change of the conversion rate in the market. Let me see. Luxury says, how much do they... Oh, no, I read that one. There's also Utao, who are similar to Vocaloids. The difference is it is the shareware software instead of licenses. Has she changed eyes sometimes? It's hard to tell. So depending on which Pure Nemo body these girls come in, because there's 2 different body types. Some of them have painted eyes and some of them have eye chips that you can change out. This specific one has eye chips. They're 8mm eye chips, so you can change out the eyes on this girl for Sakura Sakashita. So this one you can change the eyes if you wanted to. Again, there is a different body type that you cannot, but hers you can. Oh, Tempest Strife, welcome to the welcome to the stream, Tempest. I couldn't talk for some reason. But that really is everything for Azone this week. Really not too much other than these 2, or this one pure Nemo girl that branches out into 2, depending if you want the event exclusive or the Azone direct version. So let's move on to some Smart Doll news. There really isn't too much in Smart Doll news, but there is a lot to talk about it. So let's go and pop on with that. So first up, Danny Chu's finally back in Japan after his adventures in America. So he has come back and he's working on a couple new things. So some of the things that he's posted here is like, he wants to remind everybody about the special items that are available in his store for medical devices and so on. These are all available for like the mastectomy bus, the thing with the, I forgot what this one was called, the surgery for your chest. I forgot what it was, but there was a word for it. I can't remember, but that is available. You have the prosthetics here, you have the amputee arm, again with the medical devices here, like the inhaler, the colostomy bag, the hearing aids, and the crutches. All these items are available on the Smart Doll website, and if you, if you want to purchase one, or you want to purchase a doll and get one, make sure you put in the little comment section when you check out that you are an individual that utilizes any of these devices, or maybe an individual that, have use of like an amputee arm because you're an amputee yourself, or other things like a mastectomy bus, if that is something that you yourself are going through, or even a family member. I believe he did say family members as well. Crypt, thank you. Thoracic surgery. Thank you, Crypt. I couldn't remember what the word was. So these are for free if you message them and let them know that you're an individual that either has been through this or utilizes any of these items. Now, there's a video here about the UV thing. I'm going to skip that one because there's a better one that he featured later. So this way we can have like a different version of it. I posted a lot of things about why they do what they do. And, posting a lot of stuff about this is how we sell, or this is why we sell, this is how we create, or this is why we create things, etc., etc., etc. Now, this video is going to display the the UV thing. Now, when I play this video for you guys to see, because if you haven't seen it already, I don't know what happened. Okay, so hold on, let me get a drink. I don't know what happened when Danny Chu made this video, but he decided to put this like really cool like cyberpunk theme music to this video to give it kind of that cyberpunk feel. However, when he uploaded it, or maybe one of his staff, when they uploaded it with like the volume super loud. So the first time I watched this, it almost blew out my eardrums because the freaking music was so loud. So I'm going to play it, but I'm going to mute the song because it's a bit too loud. So forewarning, you're going to hear like the beginning of it before I get to hit the mute button. Okay. All right, there we go. So you can see here, he's using the UV light to show you the markings that show up on the body. So it looks like a regular Smart Doll. And then when he shines the UV light on there, you could see the cyber markings coming out. Super, super cool. I'm so hyped for this doll. And in fact, just this week, he released her already with the cyber markings for the UV glow, but only the version where excuse me, only the version where the cyber markings for the UV is on the face. He hasn't released the full body UV glow as of yet. So it's a very cool video displaying this. I'm super hyped about this and the possibilities that it can bring. There are some concerns that have been voiced about the UV lighting or the UV aspect of this, which we'll talk about a little bit later when we get to the other post that he posted in regards to this. Oh, David Kane, welcome to the stream, my resident Azone expert. I have one Pure Nemo doll too, and the hands and the feet fall off very easily. Ooh, that's a little scary. Tempest Stripe, did Shizusan fall asleep? No, I'm here. I'm awake. I'm here. Let me see. Why isn't it playing? I want it to play in background. Luxari says, I find the direct store variant a bit cuter. You know what? Sometimes it really depends. Sometimes the cuter one is the direct store. Sometimes the cuter one is actually the original release one. Really depends. And then again, like, cute is like kind of like subjective in a way too. Like, not everybody thinks the same things are cute, things like that. I know a lot of things that I think are cute are not necessarily cute for other people. So we all have our own different tastes and things like that. Let's see. Tempest says, how was everyone's week? Any doll projects getting worked on? My week was bad, actually. I don't want to bring the mood down, but like, my week was just bad. It's just a lot of work that needed to get done, a lot of like emergency stuff that came up, and it's just like blah, 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 blah. So it was terrible for me. But hopefully everybody else had a good week and are looking forward to their weekend. I'm actually, on a side note, because I'm Tangent King, I need to get some sleep right after this stream because I'm taking the kids to breakfast with Santa tomorrow morning, and it's an hour drive away from our house. So we got to leave the house at like 6 in the morning to get there on time for breakfast with Santa. So, yeah, that's my weekend. Let's see. Luxari says that's so cool, but won't they fade or get wiped off? Yes. Well, not yes as in they will fade and wipe off, but yes as in we're going to discuss that in a bit. PMB Soccer says, cool, but isn't UV light bad for vinyl? I thought excess UV light would break vinyl down or cause it to yellow. So yes, we will discuss that. We will discuss that, but I just want to play this video because it looks really freaking cool. And there's some ideas that's been going out there that people have been posting that I really want to discuss. Yes, hi, it's Yustola from Tempest Strife. Yeah, Yustola's here to hang out. So there's that. And then there's this, which is the Paragirl thing. So Paragirl hasn't been out yet, but Danny is hoping to have her out before the holidays, which doesn't leave much time. There's only like a week or two. Especially if you're hoping to get one of the Paragirls for Christmas, there really is only, I guess, 1 week left because if you figure shipping and everything, depending on where you live, hopefully it gets to your house before Christmas Day. But he's working on all these setting expectations things and goals about like these dolls. So hopefully we'll get a Paragirl before the holidays for the lucky few. Now, he did mention, he's like, should I do this as a secret event, a members only event, this and that event? So there's been a lot of like talk online about how he should release these girls. Should they be for loyal or returning customers only? Should new people have a chance to get her in the first batch? Should there be a sign-up list for this girl? You know, there's a lot of different things that they can do. And honestly, really, if you ask me, I don't think any of them are really that great ideas. I really think he should probably just keep it the way he's doing it in this chaos form. And I know a lot of people are either for it or against it. It's kind of like 50-50 at this point of people that are for and against it. Now, obviously, the people that live in different time zones that are inconvenient are against it. People that have not as good internet connection because of where they live, it's just unfortunate. Like some places just don't have good internet connection no matter how much you try. I know those individuals won't be for it. Obviously, the people that, at least right now, either live in Japan or live in the United States seem to be the ones that get much more easy access on getting these dolls because it's during times when those individuals are still awake. Whereas in other places in the world, it's in the middle of the night for them, or early morning, or it's in the middle of the workday. So you're always going to have differences in opinions on whether or not this release is good or bad. If they do a sign-up sheet, it's still bad. Because if you do a sign-up sheet, the problem with the sign-up sheet is that everybody that has a good internet connection or everybody that is awake at the same time frame as he posts it, which usually would be the Japanese or the people that live in the Americas right now, they're all going to get their names on that sign-up sheet before anybody else. So that runs into the same problem. Also, if he posts when he's going to do the sign-up sheet, it's going to cause a lot of traffic. A lot of people, like the website's going to crash because there's too much traffic. So that's also a problem too. But then you can also institute other things like a lottery system, which is kind of akin to what Volks does for a lottery system. And I know a lot of people despise that. So that wouldn't be a good option. And I don't think Danny Chu likes the lottery system anyways. I know he mentioned he didn't like it when, at least before he started Smart Doll and he was collecting Volks way back in the day, one of the things he didn't like was the lottery system. So I can't imagine him doing a lottery system. There's also like the pay to win route, which I don't advertise either, but it's just another route that you could take. Whereas people could pay a membership like Volks has, where it's like, oh, we are a Prime member or an Extreme member or whatever the hell you want to call it. And you pay like, I don't know, $20 a month or $20 a year or something stupid like that. And then you're like on the A list or the first list of people to do it. Now that ostracizes people that don't have a lot of money to spend on these dolls and really have to save just to get one. So, and it really only makes sure that the people that have a good amount of disposable income will always win that battle. So, I mean, honestly, I really don't think all these other different versions are really going to work. If you try a pre-order thing where everybody just kind of like from this day to this day, you pre-order and then you're guaranteed to get her, you could do that. And that really works well for Volks, but Volks is like a really large company where they have machines that make the dolls, they have a large staff, they have large facilities that can facilitate a huge amount of numbers for pre-orders. Whereas Smart Doll is intentionally a small staff. Like Danny Chu only has 18 people, including himself and his wife, as part of staff for the Culture Japan. That's 18 people making how many dolls a day? We do not know. So if you do something like a pre-order, that puts a lot of stress on staff to try to meet that number. Because can you imagine, even if you open the pre-order for like 2 days, let's say, they could get thousands of orders. And there's no way a team of 18 is going to make thousands of orders in a respectable amount of time as Volks would. And even with Volks, they make you wait an entire year. And that's like with factories and stuff. So can you imagine 18 people hand making these things? It's just not going to fly for that type of thing. So honestly, even though, yes, it's a little unfair that individuals in Japan and individuals in America kind of get a heads up, or not really a heads up, but a leg up, because the announcements usually happen when, in the middle, not the middle of the night, but in the evening when everybody's still awake, at least in the US. Yeah, I can understand why people get mad at that, but again, you can't satisfy everyone. There's no way to really do it to make it fair and equal for everybody in the entire world. I mean, you could do several batches, I guess. Like you could say, maybe what he could do is like an America release. So only Americans can buy on this batch day kind of thing. And then he'll post the release during the normal times he usually does. Then you could say this is a European batch. So only orders for going to Europe will be accepted. And then he posts the release during a good time for Europeans. That's the only other thing I can think of, is that if he limits the batches to the respective areas or time zones in the world that makes sense, which I think would ultimately amount to 3 to 4 separate batch releases. And I don't know how hard that would be to facilitate for him and his staff. I really don't. Because that would require, because again, certain times during the day, that would require the staff to be there in the middle of the night in order to release it for a good time for different people in different time zones. So it's really, really hard when you have it's really, really hard when you have an international customer base and you're only based in Japan and you're trying to meet everyone's needs in different time zones. It's really difficult to effectuate that. So, I think, in my own personal opinion, I think the way he's doing it now for the chaos system just kind of works. But again, obviously, even with that system, there's going to be some people that's going to be like the odd man out. But I've heard from individuals that they still had no problem ordering dolls. They just got to set their alarms to wake up at a specific time, when a drop is supposedly going to happen so they can be there for it. And, for those individuals, if that works, if that works for them, that works for them. I still have this crazy cough. I swear to God, I feel like I'm getting a little bit better because I'm not coughing as much, but still, it's annoying. Well, let me see. Let me catch up with chat. It says, Crip says, I'm looking into how to set up my office/workroom. That's like always like a fun thing to do. It's kind of stressful, but like I'm trying to set up my office right now because I want to make it different. But I'm trying to figure out like how to make some custom shelvings for my dolls because I really need a new place to put them. David Kane says the artist 40 Hara, who is the creator of Kinako, is releasing a 1/6 scale doll of Kinako. I have the 1/4 scale doll bot version of Kinako, and she's so cute. Oh, that's interesting. So they're gonna make a smaller version. So this is coming from Dollbot, David Kane's. Christina Kowald says, what is the close date to order the last smart doll for the end of the year? That's a good question. I think he usually closes orders the week before Christmas. I think. But then again, I can't really speak for what Danny's going to do because, there might be certain circumstances where he changes it up or whatever. I do know that, the week of New Year's? I think it's New Year's week or the week after New Year's is Golden Week or some kind of holiday week where everything's closed for an entire week. And that happens every year, obviously, because it's like a week-long holiday in Japan. So during that time, all orders and shipping will not happen. But as for before the holidays, I don't know. I would say, me personally, if you're going to buy something for yourself or for a loved one or for a child in your family, you're going to get something from Smart Doll. I would suggest to, on the safe side, if you're going to order something, order it like 2 weeks before Christmas. I think that will give you more than enough time for the item to reach your house before Christmas Day. So you can wrap it and like give it to whoever, or you can have a nice gift for yourself. Luxaria says, I mean, you can't please everybody either way, and if you really want the doll, you will find a way, wake up early, sneak out to the toilet at work, etc. Yeah, I feel the same. I mean, if you really, really want the doll, wherever you are in the world, you could always try to set your alarm. But again, the problem with that too is that he gives you a general idea of when the drop is going to happen. Like he'll send a tweet saying, oh, I'm going to do a drop today in the evening or something like that. But he doesn't give a specific time. So it's hard to set your alarm to wake up at a certain time because he doesn't actually give a specific time. He just gives like a relative time. So it could happen anywhere within that time frame. But yeah, I mean, there are people that live all over the world that still get their hands on these dolls. It just really depends on your determination. And obviously, there are certain things that are just out of your control. Like, what if you're somewhere where you're at a job where cell phones are not allowed? You know what I mean? And a drop happens during that time. There is just literally nothing you can do at that point, and it's unfortunate. Or if you're asleep and you set your alarm, but your alarm woke you up like an hour after the drop happened. Like there's like a lot of things that can go wrong that can really screw up your chances of, buying a girl like when it drops. But the good thing, if there is a silver lining for individuals to have or take with you, is that the pear-shaped girls are going to be frontline. So you might have a little bit of FOMO right now because you're like, oh, I want to be one of the first to have a pear girl, or I want to have a pear girl before Christmas. that's going to be a little bit rough. But if you just want a pair girl in general, pair girls will be frontline. And if you don't get the first batch, second batch, third batch, you'll at least have a chance. A lot of the other girls, like the Vitiligo girls, are available all the time. Even if they sell out, you have another chance of getting them. A lot of the main frontline girls like Mirai will always be available. Things like that. Now, obviously, I understand that FOMO is a real deal, like a real issue. So, that's something that you're just going to have to work out with yourself and just really prioritize, what you need versus what you want. Remember, this hobby is a luxury. This is a luxury hobby. And some people might, like buying smart dolls as therapeutic, something to make them feel better or something like that. And that's well and good too. But a smart doll is not going to solve all your problems. It is a luxury item. It is not a need. So try not to let FOMO dictate your life choices. If you want a pair girl, they will be coming out and they will be frontline. So eventually at some point, if you weren't able to get on the first batch, you will get one at some point. Now, the same doesn't apply for other things that are more limited, like let's say gray dolls or blue dolls. But even those, Danny usually does enough batches to where they've gone out for like a year or 2 years. So you have multiple times to get them. But some people still haven't gotten them, and that's just unfortunate. There's a lot of things that contribute to that, and obviously you can't satisfy everybody or help everybody. It's just the way of life. Life is just not fair. It never will be. And I know sounds like a downer, and it's not very helpful, but I have no other way of explaining it to where it sounds better, I guess, is the right way to say it. But I do hope that everybody is able to get the doll that they want at some point. I really do, because, these dolls are great items. They're really cool stuff, and I hope everybody's able to get, the ones that they want. Let's see. Crip says regional batches with waiting lists. Set up an email system where you sign up online with the wish list and then get an email. And when he opens it in your region, then you get an email saying you want. That could work. The only problem I see with that working is that means that he has to devote specific staff to that task. And again, this is an 18-person company. And of the 18, that includes Danny and his wife. So that leaves only 16 people. And of those 16 people, some of them are highly specialized. Some of them only make clothes. Some of them only make wigs, or maybe some of them make wigs and clothes. I know a lot of them like cross departments, but not everybody does the techie side or the email side. So, in order to effectuate that, he would either have to have more staff, or he would have to have staff work a little bit extra or a little bit harder in order to effectuate that. And I don't know if he's going to do that or put his staff through that. Again, this could be relieved. I guess you could say could be relieved easily if he hires more people. But Danny really wants to keep his staff small and family sized. And obviously family is subjective. I mean, you can have a family sized staff of 50 people or 100 people, depending on what you consider a family. But he really wants to keep his business small and close knit. And something like that does tend to have lesser products to be released, because obviously you have less people working on staff. But again, as a small business owner, having less people on staff also makes it easier for you to manage as well. So there's a lot of things that you got to think about, and that go into doing a small business and things like that. And he has said multiple times, and I have said it on this channel multiple times, that he has made it clear that his goal is not for profits for this company. This is a passion project of his that became a business. He made these dolls for himself. for him to enjoy, and it just so happens that we all enjoy it as well, and he sells them. So, but he's going to sell them at his own pace that he thinks is good for him and his workers and his company, which doesn't, I guess doesn't lend well for a growingly large customer base all over the world, internationally. But we have to keep that in mind. You have to remember, it is a small business that's trying its best to serve an international community as best it can while still staying true to its ideals and its creature comforts of being a small business. So just keep that in mind. You're not dealing with Walmart. You're not dealing with like Target. You're not dealing with like whatever companies else there is out in the world that are just really, really large. This is a small business that intends to keep itself small for many different reasons. But there's that, right? So I talked a really long time about that. Let me move on to the other things I wanted to talk about. Let's talk about, let me see here. So Danny Chu did release this just as a reminder that the pair body apparel files are being distributed. So you can see it here. So for creators to start working on things, I know that the pair bodies are not out. There are a few select that have already been released, and those individuals are already working on making apparel. But the things are already available to download on the website. So if you wanted to get started and working on making things, you could. What's another thing that I think is really interesting? So with the UV thing, actually, let's go to a better picture. So with the UV being released, this opens up a lot of different doors. And one of these pictures here is like this one, where Danny was thinking about doing it on the temple or the cheek. Now it looks like temple won the poll, but I think it was like 60 to 40%. So it looks like temple might be the one that's going to be released, but these are the ones that are going to have the UV infinity symbol to raise awareness. I don't know. We don't know an ETA of when this infinity symbol is going to be released, but this is a prototype version of it. And where was the other thing I wanted to say? Where was it? He did something. He did post something. Where is it? If you wanted to see what it looks like, this is the one where it's on the cheek. I personally voted for Temple. I think Temple looked better. But again, I think Temple won. Yeah, 58% to 41%. Now, Legion did release, like I mentioned before, she did release with the glow for the UV light, but only the one on the face, not the full body version. Here it is. So somebody mentioned this. So they said, professional question from a trained artist. What's the expected longevity of the UV markings? I'm just wondering how permanent the UV effect is expected to be. I know certain pigments and films have more fugitive natures than others. How long have you been experimenting? Literally not long. This is an idea that he literally came up with like right before he went to Anime NYC. He had a few prototypes listed up right before then. He put here, we haven't yet conducted extensive testing on this UV technique. It's challenging to determine whether any paint fading is due to the application of the UV light or just environmental exposure. This process could take months or even years to fully understand. Considering this, I'll be sure to include a note about this in our list of warnings. I hope potential buyers will take this into consideration, blah, 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 blah. This is important because as cool as this UV thing is, and I'm super stoked for it, I'm super excited for the UV thing, you have to remember that this may or may not last long. It looks cool now, and it's something he created just now. Only time will tell whether or not that UV light will still be something that is available, visible, like years to come. Like we literally have to wait years. So you can't speed up the process, at least as far as I know. But I'm not a scientist. Maybe there is a way to speed it up just to see how fast it lasts. But if you ever use any of those, like, and I know they must have this all around the world. I just don't know what it's called in other worlds. But we have these things in America, and I know they have them everywhere else, where it's like those little plasticky things that you crack and it glows in the middle of the night. Those things don't last very long. They last several hours or whatever. I'm not saying that the UV is going to last several hours, but I mean, everything loses its glow at some point. Now, how long will it last? We don't know. We literally won't know until years pass by, or at least a couple months. Like, let's say it only lasts a couple months, we'll at least know within the year, if that's the case. Now, there was another thing that they released that that was alluded to earlier. I think somebody else asked about it. There was another thing that he put here. Yeah, somebody asked, isn't UV light in general aging the vinyl faster? And he puts a whole blurb here. Yes, you're right about UV light. It can contribute to the aging of vinyl. Now remember, if you expose your dolls outside just in general, in the sun a lot, or if you expose your dolls and you display them in front of a window, it is going to yellow the skin. The UV will damage the vinyl to a point where it will yellow the skin, etc., etc. This is no different. So as cool and as awesome as the UV thing looks, if you, I don't know, like let's say you put your doll with the UV thing in a display case away from a window, but because it's so cool looking, you put a black light, in the display case so it can always shine on the doll and always expose the UV light. That could accelerate to the UV markings from fading faster. That will also accelerate the yellowing process on your doll because you're putting direct UV light onto the doll. So yes, it does. It will age the vinyl, just as regular UV light would. So it really depends. Now, if you're like, oh, the doll's just on display, or I bring the doll everywhere I go, but I don't really shine the UV light unless I'm just showing it to somebody, then I don't really see it fading or yellowing as fast as any other thing. I bring my dolls all over the place for outdoor photo shoots. I bring them all over the place for cons where they're exposed to UV light in so many different ways. Taking a little flashlight and shining the UV onto the doll to show people whenever I meet people, I don't see that really aging anything. Again, I think it's only really going to hasten the fading of the UV markings or the yellowing of your doll if you display your doll in direct blacklight or UV lighting in order to show the reflectiveness of the markings all the time. Then yes, I think that would be a pretty big issue for that. Now, he does mention that all the other environmental factors play in as well: temperature fluctuations, humidity and moisture, airborne pollutants, etc., etc. Like if you live in areas like, let's say, Florida, where it's very hot, very humid, that does hasten vinyl exposure. But obviously, if you keep them indoors and you have a room temperature controlled house kind of thing, it's generally not an issue. Let's see, what else is, I see chat is popping off now. I'm probably saying a bunch of wrong things and you guys are all correcting me. Moguri, welcome to the stream, Moguri. David Kent says, no, not Dollbot. 40 Hara staff is making the 160. Oh, okay, so it's a different company. Interesting. I have to Google that. Tempest says, I just want more clear Cortex. That's a possibility, Tempest. I really think it'll probably come out at some point when Cortex 2 does. Crip says, I'm just wondering when, then does he consider Fabric and Friends as well as the store in the UK a part of his employees? No, he doesn't. At least I don't think so. What they are is they are affiliate stores. So they're not really his staff. They're just stores that are licensed to carry his product and sell it on his behalf or in his stead kind of thing. But Fabric and Friends and Anime Sugoi are not technically staff. They're just affiliates. Crypt says, or are they distributors? Yeah, more like distributors. Excuse me. More like distributors and or affiliates kind of thing. His employees / families are the ones that put the dolls together. Yeah, pretty much. His 18-person staff in Japan is pretty much his family / staff. Tempest Strife says the UV isn't as bad on vinyl as on resin. I've heard about that. Yes, Kat. Yes. I've been reading the names at the same time. Yes, Tempest. Magical Kit Kat Girl, welcome to the stream. What? Welcome, Kat. Actually, we're going to talk about you, Kat, in a minute because you did something really cool and I want to highlight it. So hopefully you stay for that part. Christina Kowalt says, what about metal paint change as you move and the doll around like a chameleon? Technically the UV paint that he is using is of a metallic nature, I think, which is why they have that shine to it, but I could be wrong as well on that. So it's a possibility. But I do know that the cyber markings that he used does have metallic in it. But the UV one, maybe. Moguri says, thankfully, it's definitely not as impactful on vinyl compared to the resin. Yeah, it's definitely not as impactful, that's for sure. But it is still impactful all the same. Well, not all the same. What's the right word? It still impacts the doll, just not as much as resin. But it still will damage the doll if you expose it to UV light, like artificial UV light, constantly. That will hasten the fade of the UV as well as hasten the yellowing of the doll. So these are all things that you have to look out for and have to be mindful if you do want to purchase the dolls with the UV light, UV markings. And Danny is working on, Danny's always hard at work with these blurbs that he always puts out. He already put one out for the one that was released with Legion for this version that was here. And I'm pretty sure he's going to do more talking about that as the releases come. Let me see. People are fighting with him about difference between hot and cold and extreme temperatures. I don't really think that's really necessary to talk about any of that. Okay, now here's another thing that I want to talk about is somebody posted this and the post was deleted. Okay, whoever posted this on Twitter, they deleted their post. And I don't know. Maybe it's a good thing they deleted it. Maybe it's not a good thing they deleted it. But either way, my understanding, because I didn't see the original post, but my understanding of the post was somebody must have said something to Danny about the release of certain dolls that nobody else had access to. And the example that Danny Chu used was the Black Navy Prowess. Now, the Black Navy Prowess is not released yet. It was not released yet. But there is an individual that was able to purchase one when they visited the Japan store I think it was a couple months ago. And they are the only individual that has a Black Navy Prowess as of right now. I don't know what circumstances befell this opportunity for this individual. I can guess, and my educated guess is this individual is a hugely big fan of Prowess. If you don't know this individual, you probably will at some point in time, but this person buys every single Prowess ever released. If you look at their account, they have every single Prowess that has been released, every single one. And the only one they were missing was the Black Navy one because obviously it wasn't released. And when that individual visited the store, I'm assuming that they had the opportunity to buy it. Now, this was also a prototype, so there were a lot of things on this doll that's not going to make it into mainland production, such as the internal frame wasn't the right color. So it was still a cinnamon frame, so you could see cinnamon poking out the back of the doll or in some joint parts of the doll. Obviously, Black Navy is not finalized as of yet. There are only 2 Black Navies that have been released to individuals, one of them being My Lady Disdain and one being this other individual that has the Prowess. And that Black Navy might change at some point if Danny chooses to do so. These were prototypes that these individuals were able to get early. More than likely as testers, they probably have to provide feedback on whether or not the color faded or if the color rubbed off or etc. Apparently somebody saw this and got really mad and said something to Danny. So Danny wrote this whole blurb here about why they do the things that they do. And he didn't go into much depth on explaining it, but essentially what it is that the long and the short of it is, at least this is my take, okay? Now, whatever I'm going to say next is not representative of Smart Doll Land or Danny. Danny did not say this. This is my understanding and my interpretation of this. And the long and the short of it is, it's his company. He can do whatever he wants. That's the long and short of it. If he wants to give away certain prototypes to individuals, he could do that. It's his company. He could do whatever he wants. It happens with every company. It happens with every single company that's out there. You don't think video game companies don't release a video game to their friends earlier than anybody else, or release beta testing to other people that they know, before everybody else gets a chance to? Even with beta testing, they handpick like certain individuals that are streamers that would, be able to provide good feedback. Like every company does it. And there should be no reason why you can't think Smart Doll doesn't do the same. Like every company does it. Like if he wants to give something early to somebody to product test, if he wants to give something to somebody for free because they're personal friends of his, he can do it. Why not? It's his company. He doesn't even have shareholders. It's not like a big huge company that has shareholders where he has to go through other people to see if he can actually do something because somebody owns 30% of the company or another person owns 50% of the company. It's his company. He can do whatever he wants. There's plenty of small businesses that do it. Like flower companies. Like you don't think that a small business that owns a flower shop doesn't just one day be like, hey friend, you've had a hard week. Here's a free dozen roses. Give it to your wife or something like that. It happens all the time. Pizza places. Hey man, here's a free pizza. Take this pizza. You've been looking like you need some food or something. I don't know. I'm just making stuff up. Like, what does it matter? I know that you want one. And that's probably why you wrote that post. You're like, well, I really want one and it's not fair. It's gonna be released. Prowess and Black Navy will be released at some point. At some point it will. And that will be your opportunity. I know that what I'm saying might sound a little harsh or a little mean. I get that. And you can hound on me all you want about that and tell me how I'm like an asshole. But it's his company. He should be able to do whatever he wants with his products whenever he wants. As long as it's not something that's violating anything moral or ethical or something like that. Like, if he wants to give something to a good friend of his, if he wants to give something to an individual for beta testing, he should be able to. I don't see what the big deal is. Sure, I would like to have like some prototype that nobody else would have because that's pretty cool. It'd be special. I'd be the only one that has it. Sure, but I wasn't picked, and I don't expect to be. Like, it's not like, it's not like everybody in the world is the bestest of best friends with Danny. Like, you weren't at his wedding, or you weren't there when his future kid's going to be born, or something like that. Like, I don't know. But like, you don't know what circumstances, and we will never know. The only person that would know is Danny and the individual that received it. We don't know what circumstances have come together and befallen for them to receive that product. And, if you don't think it's fair, you're entitled to your own opinion. But as much as you are entitled for your own opinion and to be able to voice your own opinion, he is entitled to do whatever he wants with his own company and give products to whomever he wants. He should be allowed to. Again, this may not apply to other companies that may have shareholders. Maybe that doesn't apply for things like that. But if it's his company, he's the owner, no one else has any rights to his products, then he could do it, really. Unless the government decides to crack down and be like, no, Danny Chu, you're doing something that we don't allow in our country or something like that. I don't know. I'm making stuff up that could possibly happen. I don't know if it would. Let me see. Christina says, so he had a super rare doll, so be happy for them. Don't be jealous. Basically. I cannot tell you the amount of times when I worked in a gas station, I gave stuff away to people who are nice. A cup of coffee here or 5 cents off gas. People are so self-centered and self-serving. It drives me nuts. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Magical Kit Girl says exactly. I say exactly. Crypt, you hit it right on the nose. Marie Velez says, oh my god, are you kidding me? The owner of the company can do what he wants to do. Listen, when you become a company that caters to an audience of international spectrum, okay? I've said this many times before on my channel. When you become an international company, you have to deal with people not only of different age ranges from child to adulthood, you have to deal with different people not only from maturity levels, from immature to mature, but you have different social standings, different, ethnicities, different religious backgrounds, different societal upbringings, and all these different things make us unique as individuals or as countries or as races or whatever you want to call it. And not everything in those little different aspects that makes us unique are going to mesh 100% together. There are going to be some trials and tribulations. There are going to be times when you disagree or agree with each other. But as long as we try to stay cordial and as long as we try to understand where each of us is coming from, you can not agree with something and, go about your own business. You don't have to, criticize or philandercize or whatever, like attack people for differences. Let's understand each other. Let's all become one big doll family. And we have to learn, when you are an international community, we have to learn how to get along with each other and be open-minded to the differences that make each and every one of us unique and our own selves, because everybody brings something different to the table that will make this hobby and this community unique and special, because we are all special in our own rights and we should share that specialness with everybody else. But don't think for 1 second that you are more special than the person next to you or the person across the world from you. Everybody is special. Everybody is unique. Everybody is different. Let's learn to work together and enjoy this hobby together. Again, this is why Danny Chu is doing what he's doing, and he's focusing on diversity and inclusion because he wants to try his best, even though no matter how hard he tries, he's not going to please everybody, but he's trying his best to make sure that everybody is represented as best as he possibly can do it. There's no way he can do it for every single person in the world, but he is trying. He's trying. Okay. Where was I? All right, and then I think that's everything I wanted to address on that. So now I want to go back to this other thing. Kat, this is where you come up. So Danny Chu has posted, where was it? We had it here. Let's go back to it just so I can preface this conversation before we actually hit it on the head. Where was it? Where was the post? I lost it. Sorry, guys. This is what happens when you do things live. Oh, here we go. So we were talking about this, right? To have this symbol in the UV be displayed either on the cheek or on the temple. Danny Chu posed the question of what other invisible things that individuals have to deal with that, can be represented that's not physical. And our wonderful friend in the chat, in the live chat right now, has given out some amazing ideas that I thought was really, really cool. And I want to talk about them, Kat, because you have done an amazing job on giving some suggestions. So we are going to go to your page, Kat. We are going to your page to look at this because I thought this was really cool. So some UV things that you could do for invisible things. And I want to preface it. There's a company out there that's called Till Valhalla Project, and they specialize on things like this. They make keychains and shirts and t-shirts. I have a sweater that I purchased that it hasn't come in yet, but I have a sweater that basically on the sweater, it says, be kind. Everybody is dealing with something invisible that you do not know about. or cannot see. Everybody, like, how did it phrase it? Everybody is fighting a battle that you may or may not be aware of. You know what I mean? And these are what is the invisible things are. So here's something that Kat did that I thought was really, really cool. Thank you, Magical Kit Kat, for posting this. I thought this was awesome. So let's take this in strides. The upper left one is the one that she says is degenerative eye diseases. I think this is cool. So if you shine the little UV light on it, you would have these little lines that look like nerve endings showing here, like to depict an individual that might be suffering from some kind of degenerative eye disease, whatever that may be, or some eye disease or some eye pain. The one on the upper right here is the one with the heartbeats under the eyes. This is something to show someone that has cardiac disorders. You know, that's a great idea. You could either put it here or you could put it on the bust of the torso somewhere there, you know, right above where the heart would be located. That would be a really cool thing. On the bottom left here, she does mental health awareness for these little infinity things with the little balloons, I guess it is. And then the bottom right is a lotus, which represents excuse me, a lotus which represents strength and perseverance, which I think that just looks dope. Like, whether that is something that signifies some kind of invisible ailment, you know, I just think the lotus thing that just looks awesome. That's something I would like to get a tattoo of if I were to get a tattoo. The lotus thing looks cool. Other ones that she has posted here is things like this. Number 5, which is this upper left, is migraine. I would definitely like that one because I am a person that suffers from migraine attacks. I take medication for it, if you guys haven't noticed. Doesn't know because I don't advertise it. But since we're talking about things like that, yes, I do suffer from migraine attacks and I am medicated for it. That is something that I would be interested in. The other one on the upper right is speech and vocal disorders, also representing being voiceless or oppressed. So you have the little tear here, and the X's on the mouth could be one way of displaying things. The bottom left here is the anchors being weighed down by ailments, whether it be stress or negativity, or still finding the strength to raise it and continue sailing. I think that this is great. For a representation. I really like this one, which the bottom right is the infinity butterfly. Strength, but is also associated with ADHD and transformation. I did not know that actually represents ADHD, but I just think the design just looks really, really cool. But that's something that is close to and near and dear to my heart, as my son is someone that is diagnosed with ADHD. So, that would be something I would be really interested in seeing come up for a doll. And then some other ones that she has here. So the one to the far left and the final image on the right, it represents trauma done to the womb, the pelvic, or pain disorders, or cancer survivors of endometriosis or menopause. I definitely can understand what you're talking about with this one on the left, as that does look like a certain something. And the one on this right, on the Coco doll, that definitely does signify, or at least to me, it does look like something that's like representative of gastrointestinal problems or digestive issues or something of that nature. And then the last one I think you put here for gastrointestinal diseases and ailments, you put this little, I guess it's like it looks like that medical sign, like the cross-shaped medical sign. Still looks pretty cool though. But I want to give a shout out to Kat for these ideas, because these are amazing ideas that could be utilized or used, that the Smart Doll team might be able to use and put on products. I think it's really, really cool. Something that's different, that doesn't represent any kind of invisible thing, is one thing I mentioned to Danny last I spoke to him about this was, how about just the simplicity of just the Culture Japan sign, like the CJ logo, if you put it on the upper left or right bicep. Or another idea I had that I mentioned to Danny was to put the CJ logo right above the support socket. So this way, it's like you're tagging your product with your product logo, but also it's not seen, so it doesn't really distract anyone from from the doll itself, unless you shine that UV light and then it all of a sudden appears. It kind of reminds me of way back in the day, and I know I'm dating myself. Is when I was a kid, we used to buy like Transformer toys. Now I know Transformers are still around today, but what they don't do anymore, at least I don't think they do anymore in Transformer toys, is they used to have the Transformer insignia on the toy, and if you rub it or you put heat on it, the insignia would expose itself. So that was something that was really cool. That does not age well with time either, because if you have one of those toys nowadays, if you try to expose the insignia, it doesn't show up anymore because time has eroded the ability for that insignia to show. But some people are lucky and there still shows, but I guess it depends on where. Oh my god, chat is going crazy. Let me see. Luxeria says consumers telling the business owner how to run his own company. Yeah, pretty much. Mika7 says, I agree, it's his company, he can do what he wants. Crip says, wait, I am not the ruler of the world? Gasp in shock. Luxeria says, if you're not happy, then make your own product or company for you. Yeah, I mean, do it. I mean, that's exactly what Danny did. Way back in the day, he used to collect the Volks, and he wanted to make his own company because there were some things about Volks that he didn't agree with, or that he wanted to change or make different. So he made his own company. So if you don't like it, make it. Magical Kit Kat says that these were ideas from the community. Yeah, but they were ideas from the community, but you're the one that put pen to paper. Okay, I'll give you that credit. Luxeria says, oh, I saw this post too, so cool. PMB says, they are pretty cool, I like it. Marie Velez likes it. Tempest had an awesome idea for back-related pain or injury. Yeah, I saw Tempest. Tempest also did another post. I didn't have it put up here, so I don't have it to show, but she did one where she put lines down the back to display back pain. That was a pretty cool idea as well. Crip says it's a Miku song reference from The Ruler of the World. Also, I love those designs. Can you post a link to the place you said? Link for what? Wait, which place are you talking about? Can you specify so I can send you the link? Let's see. Mika7 says, oh my god, they're pretty cool. Kat says, credit to the community. I love the Lotus. Migraine. Oh, Marie, you got migraines too? Yeah. It's not fun when they hit. Like, it really is not fun when they hit. Christina Kowal says, wow, super excited. Great job, Kat. Ben, welcome Ben to this. Excuse me, guys. Welcome Ben to the stream. Tempest, I'm back. Oh, hey, thank you for mentioning me, Kat. Kat says, it's me trying to make an artistic uterus in the last one. Yeah, I noticed that. It actually looks really good. It actually looks really good, Kat. I like it. Kakro Gaming, you and your community did an amazing job, and they're wonderful and have great meanings behind them. Marie Velez is a survivor for 2 years. Oh, well, that's great to hear. It's great to know that you're still with us, Marie. Magical Cat says, I have scoliosis and absolutely loved your design, Stampus. Marie Velez, I never thought about it this way. Huge hugs. Let's see, what else is going on? Mika also has a medical condition that is invisible. Let me see if I can find my link. Yeah, if you can find your link, I'll share it on the stream. I didn't have it pre-set up because I forgot that you made one. I'm sorry, Tempest. My apologies. Okay, I think that's everything. I think we're caught up. But yeah, I think that this was just a really great idea, and it's something that can be utilized. It's something that can be done. For this whole idea of the UV light thingy. Let me see if I can post it. I want to show you guys. See, I'm no way... Okay, let me preface this. I'm no way endorsed by this company, okay? But I think they make really cool products. that I would like to share with you guys. This is not endorsement. This is not a paid sponsorship or anything of that nature. It's just a company that I like, that I buy things from. It may not be for everyone too, because there are some views or things that they have in this company that maybe some people don't agree with. So do take it with a grain of salt. It's just something I thought was really interesting. Let me see if I can find the one that I'm looking for, because I don't want to. It's not that I don't want to advertise. I just don't want to show something that maybe people don't like. Here it is. Yeah, this is the one that I got. So this is a t-shirt version. I got the sweater. They have a sweater version. But basically this was what it looks like. On the front of it, it says "Be kind." And on the back of it, it says, "Everyone you meet is fighting a battle you know nothing about." It's essentially what it says. I thought it was a really cool t-shirt. I got the sweater version of this, but I thought it was really cool just to acknowledge, that, if you meet somebody that's just not in a good mood, or somebody that's a little like angsty or angry, don't judge them immediately, because you don't know. You don't know what that person is going through. You don't know if they have some kind of like, invisible battle that they're fighting that you just don't know. And, you could be unjustly like yelling at somebody for, not being, I guess, like you, quote unquote. But I just thought it was a really good shirt. Again, it may not be something for everybody. I just thought it was really cool, and so I purchased it. I just like it. That's just my thing. Again, I am not sponsored. I am not paid by this company or anything of this nature. This is just something that I thought was around the realm of what we were talking about. So, I just thought it was really cool. Crip says, what site is this? This is Till Valhalla Project. This is their main page. It's called the Till Valhalla Project. They got a whole bunch of different things that they do. They got bracelets, they got accessories, drinkwares, hats, things of that nature. Like if you want to see like other ones, yeah, TVP for the Till Valhalla Project. I don't know because the thing is very, very small. It started out as a military company supporting those in our military, but then they branched out to making an impact on a lot of different things. Like they have this whole mission statement that you guys can read if you wanted to read, but there is some things that are on here. There was one that I bought. I bought it for my wife actually, because I thought it was really cool. There was something. This one, I bought this for my wife on Mother's Day because I thought it was really funny. But they have this shirt that says "Don't mess with Mama Bear." So I bought this shirt and I gave it to my wife for Mother's Day, and she loves it. She wears it a lot. Like it's just, they have some great things on here. Is all I'm gonna say. But yeah, it's, if you're interested, it's called the Till Valhalla Project. I will put the link here for individuals that are interested. If you're interested, I'll put the link in chat. Again, I'm not sponsored by them. I'm not endorsed by them in any way, shape, or form. I just feel like they have some really cool products that kind of like address what we were just talking about when it comes to, invisible ailments or illnesses that could be used for the new Smart Doll UV lighting thing. So yeah, it's I'm sorry if I'm acting all weird about this. Is because I want to make sure that I say the right words and not say something offensive, like because I'm not a very well-read person. So sometimes maybe I'll say something that is not exactly the right wording, and I do apologize for that, for my ignorance. But I try my best to address the things that I think should be addressed in the best possible manner without getting people mad at me. But again, you can't satisfy everybody and you can't make everybody happy. But, I try to skirt that line where I can be informative, and try to be as helpful as I can. But I think that's really it. That's everything for the news this week. So hopefully you guys enjoyed today's episode. I know I said at the very beginning of the episode that this is going to be a short episode because there's not much to talk about. But apparently the smart doll aspect of everything was quite a lot to talk about. Actually, you know what? We're not done because I forgot. I forgot something. Where is it? We didn't go through the timeline. I forgot, people. So, going through the timeline, let's see if there's anything really noteworthy to really address. The hair. I love this color wig. I know it's the Legion wig, but for some reason, I feel like this blue is slightly different than the one on Legion. Is my eyes deceiving me? Am I going crazy? I feel like this blue is slightly different than the one that has been released with Legion. Because Legion's a little bit more turquoisey, and I feel like this is a little bit more of the blue hue. But I could be wrong. Again, it could be my eyes just deceiving me on that matter. Another thing, he posted another picture of this, is these hands. Pocket doll, anybody? Are we still like, is this a pocket doll arm? Or is this a normal arm and normal hands? And these are Mirai mannequin stuff. So, I don't know. Crip says, Shizusan, your Asuna banner is tilted. I'm sorry, I cannot unsee it. Is it tilted? Wait, hold on. Is it tilted? Oh, yeah. Yep, no, wait. Maybe. I'm trying to think if the camera is tilted or if it's the banner that's tilted. Hold on. Can I fix it? I can't fix it the way I'm doing it right now. I'm gonna have to fix it later. But yeah, you caught it. Yeah, now it's bothering me now that I can see it too. I'll fix it before the next stream. I promise. Okay. Let's go back. This picture here, I don't know who this character is. This is a new purple eyebrow with some lavender hue around the eyeliner here. So I don't know who this is. It looks like, given from the mouth shape, it's possible this could be Moonlight. It's possible it could be Moonlight, but I'm not entirely sure. Let me see. It's the banner because your doorknob is straight. I know, it's bothering you. I'm sorry. I'll fix it before the next stream. PMB Soccer says, looking at the hobby knife, I say those are mannequin hands with doll hands. Yeah, probably. I wasn't entirely sure, because I couldn't tell if it was pocket doll or if it's like Mirai mannequin size. But now that you mention it, based upon that little hobby knife there, yeah, it looks like it could be Mirai mannequin for sure. Now, this is just black navy with the gold. We've already seen that. Let me see, which one is this one? That's Legion with the UV. We've already seen that. How about this one? Anything different? No, this is still black navy. Progress on black navy. We've seen those already. More black navy stuff, more UV light stuff. Yeah, so nothing really too new. This looks like a whole bunch of stuff that we've pretty much already seen from many excuse me, from many of his posts on Twitter and Facebook and stuff like that. So none of this is really too new. This is the pear-shaped Tokyo jeans. We already talked about that before in the prior episode. So yeah, I mean, not too much progress shown here. A lot of these are kind of like repeat stuff that we've already seen. Crip says, is the arm in the photo the new frame? Yes, it is. If you're talking about this photo, then yes, this is the new Evolve, because you could see from here, this is a different connection port. this is the evolve frame connection port for the upper half of the for the joint that goes into the upper half of the bicep. If you haven't purchased an evolve frame girl yet, then you probably don't know it, but yeah, this is evolve. It's also the same for here. When you take out this wrist joint, the wrist joint has more of a cylindrical thing than the little peg that the old version used to have. But yeah, that's exactly what that is, Crypt. But I think now I'm done. There really wasn't much in the timeline to really discuss. But yeah, that's it. Like I said before, that this episode was a lot longer than I expected it to be. There wasn't much news to cover, but there was a lot to say. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I hope you found it informative. Thank you, Kat. Thank you, Tempest Strife, for doing those mock-up designs for the invisible stuff for the UV lighting. I really enjoyed it. I really think it's really cool. Hopefully some of those do end up showing up on some of the Smart Doll prototypes in the future, because I think it's something that I think it's a tool that can be utilized to definitely display and show representative for individuals that are suffering from things that cannot be seen. So definitely very, very cool. I'm 100% on board with those things. Christina Kowalt says, can't wait to see Black Navy guys. Probably, but probably not at the same time. It really depends on the popularity, because I don't think we even got a gray or blue male doll. Have we? Definitely not gray. We haven't gotten any gray males. For blue, I don't think we got any blue guys, did we? If we did, it was very few and far between. I don't remember any blue boys being released. So whether or not there will be a Black Navy dude, I highly doubt it. But it really depends. Like, if Black Navy really takes off and it becomes super, super popular, and it coincides with Danny releasing like a new version of a guy, like a 2.0 kind of body type, then maybe. But more than likely, we probably will not. But you never know. You never know. If there's a large outcry for it, or, you know, people start mentioning a lot, you know how Danny is. Like, if he sees that the community's really at jonesing for it, he might make it into something. Let's see. Crip says, no, I haven't. I have all milk girls, so I kind of have held off on buying anyone else, but I'm looking into it. Yeah. So then, yeah, if you don't have an evolve frame, then yeah, that explains why it doesn't look familiar to you. Christina says, great show. Have a great weekend. Thank you, Christina. Thank you for coming. Luxaria says, excited to see where this UV idea will lead into the future project for Danny. Yeah, I mean, the UV thing has a lot of potential, especially for the... I'm sinking, I don't know. Yeah, I'm sinking. Especially for the invisible ailments or illnesses or whatever it is that is more politically correct to say. I think it's awesome for that. It's also awesome just for the whole cyber aspect with the cyber bodies that's already released with Legion, at least for the cyber face. We have already seen a video of a full cyber body and face of Legion, so that's probably coming down the pipe in the future. It's also cool, just like my idea I thought was pretty cool, is maybe we could have the CJ logo marked somewhere on the body, which I think would be really cool. But you never know. You never know where this could take us. And again, the whole thing about it fading or putting too much UV light because you have the UV markings, affecting the vinyl, that is a concern. And only time will tell how much of a concern, because we really have to put it through the test of time to find out. Okay. Tempest says, holding out for clear cortex guys. You might be holding out for a while, Tempest. It was just chaos pieces, I think. Any male dolls would be awesome, to be honest. Yeah, it's been a while since a male doll has been released. I know he said he's going to release them seasonally, but it's been quite a few seasons since then. So who knows? He's working on a lot of things. Again, his main focus right now is the pair girls and getting them for release. His secondary main focus is going to be for Black Navy, and somewhere in that mesh is going to be the UV thing. So Guy Dolls is somewhere on the back burner. Let me see. Luxary says there wasn't chaos. Oh, there was. Oh, well then, I guess there was. I don't remember that. I know he did have a clear doll and he put it in his commercial, but I didn't know that it was actually released. Don't forget Naruto. Yeah, Naruto is in the works, but Naruto probably won't be, if I had to guesstimate, it probably won't be until late 2024 or into 2025, because the prototype of Naruto is still with the licensing holders right now, and they're basically reviewing it, is my understanding, is that it's still in its approval stages, and that could be a very long time. Just as much as C2. C2 went back and forth with Smart Doll and the initial IP company for approval of the different versions, and they had to keep going back and forth. So that's what's going on with Naruto right now. The current version that we saw is, being evaluated by the parent company, and we'll see where things go from there. So it really depends. If the parent company is okay with the version that's out now, then more than likely we'll get it in 2024. But if they want some finer adjustments, then probably 2025. Danny posted a new male body way before, right? He did. He posted, but that was like a while ago, over a year and a half ago. He posted a male Coco body, a prototype of a male Coco body, which was slightly different than the bodies that have originally been released in Cinnamon and Tea. So there was one a long, long time ago. If you dig through the archives, you probably will find it. But since then, we haven't had any updates on that front. Tempest says, that's fine, my doll family is big. I know your doll family is big, Tempest. But yeah, I think that's everything. So, all right. That's today's episode. So thank you everybody for coming. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found it fun and informative. Again, next week is going to be Beyond the Doll, which is going to be the last episode or my last video, or no. I should say it's going to be my last live stream for the year. This is turning into a tradition for me where I kind of take a break mid-December until the new year starts. So this is my little vacation. I'll take this 2-week break in December for the holidays, as we're going to do some traveling anyways. So next week's episode of Beyond the Doll will be my last stream until the new year. Because of that, last year we had a very special guest of Magical Girl Kit Kat, and we had Tempest Strife on for our 3x3s for waifus and husbandos. I wanted to do it again this year with new guests, but the problem is I've been so busy I haven't had a chance to reach out to anybody for that. So instead, what I'm going to do for the last episode of the year is I want to do another open mic night. So for those of you that are watching today, next week's episode is going to be an open mic night. No, it's not karaoke or singing like some people were asking from before. I'm going to open the lines up for Zoom for anybody that is watching the stream live to participate in the show. But what I think I'll do this time around is I'll give everybody like a 5-minute time frame, because some people got longer times than others depending on how much they had to say, which was fine, but it kind of made it seem unfair for individuals, like why did that person get to talk longer than another person, etc., etc., etc. So I think this time around for open mic night for the last episode of the year, we're going to keep it to a 5-minute minimum. So anybody can participate in open mic night for anything they want to say, as long as it's YouTube appropriate and doesn't get me flagged or DMC'd from YouTube. Okay, it's basically you can ask me any questions or talk about anything next week. Just a word of warning, if you do say something that I think is going in the wrong direction, I will immediately remove you from the stream. So let's keep it appropriate for an end of the year video. So it's going to be an open mic night. Topic is open for any topics that you guys want to discuss or talk about during that stream. So hopefully it'll be fun. Hopefully it'll be a good time, and I will see you guys there. So that's everything for me tonight. As always, I'm your host, Shizusan. My lovely assistant here is the very beautiful Yustola. Thank you, everybody, for coming, and I will see you guys next week. So take care, everybody. Bye.
I just miss you more than anything. It's way too quiet in the house. I'm just wasted on the couch, 'cause I don't wanna feel anything. Wish you'd stayed here beside me. This isn't how it's supposed to be. Wish you'd stayed here right with me. I can't shake that feeling that we said goodbye too soon. I know the hour's getting late. I shouldn't sit here contemplating. I just can't stop thinking about us. I won't forget a single thing, from drunken nights to Sunday mornings, and how you smile at me. Wish you'd stayed here beside me. This isn't how it's supposed to be. Wish you'd stayed here right with me. I can't shake that feeling that we said goodbye too soon. How it's supposed to be. Wish you stayed here right with me. I can't shake that feeling that we said goodbye too soon.